anybody, I am, there we go. Perfect. So guys, we like to do leaderboards, shout people out, new writers, people that are building a business. The leaderboards are always the week prior, so we can capture accurate numbers for everybody where they are in their business. So if you wrote businesses this week, in the past 3, 4, 5 days, and you don't see on the leaderboards, we'll capture it on either the Weekend Warrior slide on Teams, or it'll certainly be in next week's call. So for the week of 7/12, with my base, we had 12 apps for 11,760. Durgan Ellison 7/12 week, 22 apps, 24,576. Nice job, guys. So we had Mr. James Burge, one app for 547. David, looks like brand new writer, one app for 761. Nice job. Myself, two apps, 841. Calvin, is that you, CJ? Is that your perfect? First app, got through the learning curve on it for 1,065. Nice job. Miss Ibble, one app for 1188 APV. Brandon coming back in from being on vacation, and then Brandon had his birthday over the weekend, so he's an old man now. Just kidding. One app for 1247. Dustin, three apps for 3403. Nice job. I don't know if Dustin's on. He usually is. Those are great ratios. We like to see that. And then we have Paige, seven apps for 40. That's a cool number, 4949. Great job, Paige. Rafa, five apps for 5271. Great job, Rafa. Again, not at the beginning contract level. So the commissions are looking good there. Mama Margot, five apps for 6748. Nice job. I mean, Margaret just comes in. She'll take like 6 weeks off and just come back in fire and hot. So I love that. And then the one, the only, the Tommy boy, the Tom Ellison, seven apps for 9861. Great job, buddy. For the base shop, month to date for July, the Felix, seven unique writers, 45 apps for 57,843. Great job, guys. And then for the Durgan Ellison, we have nine writers, two new, 49 apps for 67,800. Great, month into July. And we've got, let's see, we've got really almost 2 full weeks here. So if you're thinking you're not close, thinking you're not going to hit your next promotion, you're probably right if you're thinking that. But if you're thinking, I got a bunch of time, as one day could change your whole month. Anybody that's on this call that's been here a minute knows that's true. It's the same thing if you just don't let up. So perfect. Over to you, Tommy.
Man, one day change your life. 1 hour can
Yep.
change your life. I mean,
Yep.
it's crazy. Um, I remember going 0 for 16 before our first conference when I was meeting Paige to roll down to Knoxville, and we were in the middle of a contest, right? If you remember for Marshall, and one final appointment the day before was a $17,000 APV, still on the books today. So 1 hour can change your total perspective and life in this business. Paige, man, this is my favorite slide when I'm on top, babe.
Tom, I don't know what you're doing. Are you bribing people? Is that what you're doing? That's got to be it.
No, I'm not. Just putting in the work. Ibble's got 4 people that she shared the opportunity with. Bridget's got 39, which is amazing. Paige has 44, and yours truly has 50. And, Paige, keep coming. Come on.
You just got the good people. That's all. Just
We
kidding.
all have good people.
We all have
Let's not
great
go there.
people.
I just have more good people.
There you go. There you go.
Hey, we love to have fun and get stuff done. And this workroom page, talk about this and how cool it is to be in here.
Yeah, well, you're in it. If you made it so far today, then you're in it. So congratulations. The good news is this is open Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern. So your success here is your responsibility. We're here to guide you, but can't make you dial. We can't make you plug in. We can't make you overcome that learning curve. That's up to you. So how do you do that? You've got this workroom here that you can plug into and listen to people dial. You can listen to people run appointments. You can plug into every team call that we have on here. You can come in here and just work, right? Whether it's study, whether it's, you can dial too. You can run quotes. You can do all sorts of stuff. So utilize this. This is meant to be just an open room for you to be able to come in, learn, and grow at your speed. One quick tip. So we've got our room here. If you plug in and you come into this workroom and no one's in here, then just click on breakouts, look and see who's in other rooms. That main room, there's always somebody in there, so you can go in there and listen in. Unless it says invite only, you can pop in, see what's going on, see what they're up to. If there's usually 3 or 4 people in there, you probably somebody's dialing. So check it out. Just kind of make your way around and utilize this as best as you possibly can, because that's only going to help you.
Oh, yes, our trip, our trip. This will be updated, in totality, guys, at the end of each month because it has issued business. But this is a trip that we are sponsoring, going on with, all of that. Tom, do you have something relative to the trip, or you just
Yes.
okay, all right.
I'll
Um,
get there at the end.
all right. So basically, how it breaks down, guys, if you're registered for conference, easy peasy, 3,000 points right there. On the production side, you get a point for each issued business, not submit, the stuff that actually gets placed on the books. I mentioned conference, and if you're building a team. Anybody that comes in comes through ready to write. That's 1,000 per writer, and then submitting a new application. That's 3,000. So there'll be one winner from my agency, one from Pages, one from Tom's. It's yourself and a guest, and we're super excited about it. This is the first time we've done this just from the C. Miller agency on down in a smaller group. So we talk a lot about kind of the perks of our industry and being able to do and travel for free just for doing all the same things you're going to do anyway. So this is going to be an amazing trip. 4 days of association, smaller group than like a big conference. So again, not over till it's over. Tommy, what do you want to add?
I just want to ask Paige something. Are you winning your own trip? Because it kind of looks like
I might. I don't know, Mama
me
Margot.
too. I know,
Yeah.
I know, it's crazy. And Bridget's got a clear front runner there. And I think,
Hmm.
yeah, hey, I'm just stirring the pot a little, that's all.
Oh, I know. I know. Yep. We got Rafa in my group. Mama Margot, and then Tommy and Evel. I mean, anybody's game. Again, guys, this is going to go all the way through the day before conference. So again, looking at what can I do if that means investing in more leads. That's the cool part about our business. You can literally buy your production. So if you want or need to make more, want to ramp it up, invest in more leads, make sure you're reaching out to your mentor. So this is going to be awesome. Awesome. And it's in November. Again, we're still dialing in some details as far as the timeline, but as soon as we have everything absolutely precise, we will let you guys know.
Uh-oh.
This is you,
Is this
Tommy.
mine?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Hey, some of the coolest things happen at this national conference. I was just reminded of that just the other day. Jim Larson reached out to me and said, I was helping him with an agent with Lighthouse Leads, and he made mention. He said we first met at conference in the lobby, and I remember him asking me a whole bunch of questions. And now, when I meet him in the lobby this year, I'm going to ask him a whole bunch of questions because he's just skyrocketed up. I was an agency owner at that point; he was not, and now all of a sudden, look where he's at. So it's really cool. Get there. These hotels are available. Get there. The things that happen in the lobby are the things that are the special things that are not, the schedule is great. I love the schedule, but the things that happen off schedule are absolutely the life-changing moments. So get there.
No doubt about it, Tommy. It's a blast. You got make sure you bring a water bottle and some snacks. We'll say that probably a million more times. And one thing really quickly, guys, most of you on this call are registered for conference. If you're not, reach out to us. You know, there's a lot of things in terms of sharing rooms, sharing costs. Some people are driving, they want somebody to take a trip with. So if you're not registered, just in your mind, you know, understanding it, you should at this point understand that this will launch you forward by a minimum of 6 months. Like Tom said, the association, be able to ask people that you've seen on the calls, hey, I saw you on the call, what about this? Um, Start asking yourself, what needs to happen so that I can go? Rather than saying, I can't spend the money, I just started, blah, blah, blah. All of us started somewhere. So instead of saying, I can't do it, start asking yourself, what needs to happen so that I can make it to the conference? And so, guys, we always like to wrap with a quick 10-minute training on something outside of the actual scripts, the techniques. We do that Monday through Friday on the Walk of Fame. Right after this at 10:30 is going to be, if you're onboarding, pre-licensing, getting started, tips and tricks. But there's really three things in our business that, in this order, will allow you to do well. And it's actually not unique to our business. It's really with anything that you're doing. And it's mindset, mechanics, activity. So mindset is what I'll talk about today, but the mechanics, those are the skills, right? That's memorizing your scripts and rebuttals, reaching out and knowing how to use the platforms. But the activity, right? Just getting in, just get started. Don't overthink it. Like Paige was mentioning earlier, just jump in. That reinforces the skill. But there's a reason we always talk about mindset in our business, because you cannot really get through the learning curve, maintain your attitude without doing that. So I'll talk a little bit today on, we all get off on our mindset. So how do you course correct? So when your mindset's off, it's not your script, it's not your leads, it's not our products. It all starts with how we're showing up, like mentally, before we even open our mouth. So have you guys ever been on a call and you're saying all the right things, but it's just not hitting? Like the energy just isn't landing. I mean, so you have the word. So that's not a technique problem. That's more of like a mindset leak, when we call it. So when we're off, our clients feel it. Here's the thing. If your mindset is clouded by stress, oh my God, I need this money, I invested all that, desperation, overthinking, right? Sound familiar? They feel that before you ever get into any kind of questions, sales presentation, any of it. You can't hide it. So you might be thinking, I need this sale, kind of that commission breath. What do they feel? I don't trust this person. This person is not for me. They want something from me. We talk a lot about that, right? So how do you know when you're off, right? Sometimes you can just feel it. You're like, yeah, I know I slept in late, I rushed, whatever. But how do you really know? How can you identify? How do you know when you're off? Well, when you're in your head, kind of in that thought loop, instead of just being present. And this could be on the booking call, it could be in the presentation, where you're rushing to get to the solution because you're afraid that you're going to lose the sale. When you don't help a family, how do you know when you're off? You take it personally, rather than understanding these are just the numbers, right? And that is the beauty of tracking your numbers, is you feel like it's personal. They didn't like me. Yes, they need to like and trust you, but the reality is we won't help everybody, and that's fine. That's the beauty of tracking your numbers. So when you're in kind of that negative mindset, you just got to ask, what am I transferring? Just telepathically over the phone, because people can hear it, they can feel it. Selling here, it's simply a transfer of emotion, right, guys? This isn't a big pressure in your face. It's all about transferring that emotion of what happens if. So if you're operating from fear or desperation, that's what transfers. But if you're operating from that, being certain in that service mindset, you hear a lot about being a service or servant mindset here. That's what transfers. We always say you have to care more about the families that you're helping out than your commission, because people will feel it. So what do you do? What do you do when you know you're putting in the activity and you're looking at your numbers and you reach out to your mentor and they're like, yeah, so we got to go back and look at something. It is almost always how we're showing up in our head. So when that happens, what do you do? Take a second. Sometimes you got to just pump the brakes. Before you get back on the phone or on the Zoom, just take 10 or 20 seconds, just close your eyes, breathe, ask yourself, am I here to try to close these families, these clients? Or am I here to understand what their needs are, right? Through asking questions. What do they actually need from me at this product? What happens if they don't fix this? See, that's where our role comes in, of getting out of our own way and not being afraid to ask sometimes uncomfortable questions to the clients. So John and Mary, with everything as it stands right now, if something happened to you tomorrow, John, how does that play out for Mary and the kids? Right? Those are uncomfortable questions that, in many times, people have never thought about. That's why I always say, when I have somebody on the phone, I'm using everything I have. I'm using everything, every tool I have. And if they don't move forward, at least I know I did everything I could. So that happens when you shift off of yourself and onto the client. That part alone is going to kind of ground your how you sound, the pace, all of those things. The second thing you can do to refocus yourself is just be curious, right? The most successful people in our business, they're curious. So if you're just like, hey, what happens if you don't even have a thought to try to get in your own way? Because now you're just being curious about the families, what their situation is, and what their concerns are. Because we can help. We can help fit it into their budget. We just need to be curious about what their concerns are. Again, it's that transfer of emotion, right? And when you're off, you can kind of re-engage.
Oh, Paige, did we lose her for a minute there? I think we did.
Am I back again?
She's
No,
back.
you
We're
were
good. Yep.
frozen.
Um,
It was awesome.
Good news, guys. I have the cable guy coming out today. So there we go. So do we really understand? Are we just kind of waiting for our turn to talk, right? That listening to understand or listening to respond? Asking things like, hey, when they say probably wouldn't be good if we don't get anything, ask and follow up. All right, can you walk me through that a little bit more? How long have that been a concern for you? All of those things are curiosity based, because we know the solution. We already have that. You don't have to keep bringing that up in your head, guys. All we need to do is figure out how we can do it. And then really the third step is to just, what I talked about earlier, not taking it personally, detach from the outcome. This is huge, because if you're feeling off, you're probably holding on in your head, like what you need, what you want out of this call. Let go of it. Replace it. I remember Brandon and I in the beginning, and Dave was talking to Brandon. He said, hey, I go in with a mindset of, I'm here to help you if you want my help. And in doing that alone is just takes that salesy, that commission breath out of it. So, and your numbers, your calls, your objections, we always say if someone's getting an objection, that's usually something that you're doing. That's the straight up truth. So reflecting it back at yourself. So if your day has been challenging, like we've all had, nothing's landing, don't go back to the leads or the market. Don't even kind of blame the script. Just start with, how am I showing up? Where's my head at? How am I thinking, sounding? Am I thinking about these as sales? Took a sale. No, we helped a family. There's a reason we say that, because it is helping families for generations. Another question you can ask yourself, would I buy anything for myself right now? Would I feel good about it? If the answer is no, dial it back. And again, not taking anything personally. That goes back to the numbers. The good news is you can course correct midday, mid call, Mid anything. You just have to know, take a second, breathe, and just recommit to just being curious. That's the easiest thing. And the last thing, and I had heard this from Sarah Reineke when she's going through a little patch. She goes, I just pump my brakes and say, what are three things I'm grateful for? Things are people. And if you people come across your, yeah, like, hey, that person helped me, send them a quick text. I need to get better about that. Of just, I think it and I feel it, but I might not communicate it. I get distracted. So again, look at that face. Uh, so that guys is what I have today is that mindset starts everything in your life, period. So if you are putting in the activity, investing, and it's not hitting, there's a reason we talk about being a personal development company that happens to sell insurance. There's a reason for that, guys. So keeping your mindset in the right spot's going to make just going to prepare you for all the hits that life, the business, especially in the beginning, the learning curve will help you through. Okay. So I hope that helped, guys. Yep, I'm here to help you if you want my help, CJ. Exactly. That's how you got to think about it. Period. So if you are brand new-ish in the study course, any of it, hop into that Walk of Fame because there's always some cool tip that can apply to you right now. There's a reason we do these every day, so you can pick and choose. And everybody have a fantastic Monday. And the Leads Learning Hour is today at 3. And I think, Tommy, they're going to go over, is it funnel? There's something they
They're
talked about
going
on the
over funnel
national
and they're
call.
going Lighthouse Leads. They've got one of the top producers with Lighthouse Leads on, Michael Caruccio or something
Okay.
like that. Really,
All right.
really good
Perfect.
dude. Yeah, hitting it
Perfect.
is
Perfect, guys. That's
finding
today at
huge
3
success.
Eastern.